We're going to be doing, for the next 2 days, something really special. And although this is animal communication, and obviously we're going to be doing animal communication, I want to bring this out a little bit. I want to broaden our scope just a little bit in this introduction and talk about actually the full scope of what's going to happen this weekend, or what could happen this weekend for you, what's available for you. All of this will completely hinge on you and what you're ready for and what you open to and what you suspend your disbelief in. I could have put that a more positive way and saying what you believe in, but the reason I didn't is because the disbelief part of being human is stronger than the belief part of being human. So that's why I worded it the way I did. This is about you. So while it's everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, most people want to take this workshop to communicate with their animals and to be able to hear them better or whatever. And that is great and wonderful, but the biggest part this is about is you. It's about your heart, it's about opening to your abilities, your intuition, opening up to your innate wisdom, your opening up to your connection with your soul, your own spirit. That's what actually this is about. And that's where communications come through. So without the other pieces, it's not just getting messages from animals. It's learning about your own heart and how to open your heart to intuition and to hearing things. So we have a disadvantage, all of us sitting here, because we're adults. And being an adult is difficult because we have distanced ourselves and we have forgotten largely how to be innocent little children. We come into this world born with the natural ability to be telepathic and to communicate telepathically. All of us are telepathic by nature. We learn verbal language. We learn how to speak. But you're born being able to communicate. And you communicated with others around you even before you were verbal. And they communicated with you. And I'm not always saying the communication was good, because in some cases that communication may have been poor. But you were born with the innate knowledge of how to communicate telepathically, every single one of you. So this workshop isn't about teaching you how to be telepathic. The workshop is actually more difficult for me as a teacher because it's teaching you or having you recognize how you already are telepathic. So all of you actually have the ability and do hear your animals all the time. You do this constantly. You get messages from nature, you get messages from animals, you get messages from plants and trees and butterflies and all sorts of things around you. But for the most part, a lot of you don't pay attention to it. You pass it off, and there are some very distinct reasons why you pass it off or overlook it. And that's what we're going to dive into for the next 2 days. So what my goal is for you to start to recognize how you're already receiving communications. Will that mean when you walk out the door on Sunday that you're going to be able to go home and automatically hear everything your animals say? Probably not. Maybe. I mean, some people do. But it's not likely, because this is a process that you have to go through. It's not like I can hand out a manual to all of you and say, turn to page 6, and here's how you communicate with animals. Here's how you get the message. It's right on page 6. Can't do that. It's not that simple. And it actually is that simple. If I did a manual of how to communicate with animals for you, it would be 1 page. And it would basically probably be 1 sentence that would say, open your heart and trust what you get. Because that's actually the truth of the matter. It's that simple. But it's simply said, but very difficult to do because of how we've all been conditioned in both in society and as human beings, where we are right now as human beings. So that's going to be the goal for the weekend, and through various exercises we're going to do, together, we will try to chip away at that. And I'm hoping some of this will be eye-opening to some of you, because it is astonishing once you recognize how you do receive and how common it is. It's like breathing. And I say to you, I ask any of you, how often are you aware of your breathing? I mean, you have to really focus to be aware of your breathing, whether you're doing a meditation or whatever. But when you're just sitting around during the day, or especially if you're busy doing something else, you're not focused on your breathing. It just automatically happens. Same is true with how you receive intuitive messages and in telepathic messages. Same thing. You're getting them all the time, but you're not paying attention to them. So the question is how to turn your awareness so that you can turn on command, kind of tune in and turn that on and off as you wish. You also wouldn't want to live life being completely open to all communications all the time. You can't. You can't possibly listen to everything. It'd be the equivalent of walking in a room full of 150 people at a dinner party all talking, and you're expected to hear every conversation and remember what is being said. You can't do that. You can't possibly focus that way. So we have to find that balance, because a lot of times when people are starting out, they get really excited and they go, I want to hear everything. I want to hear what every bird is saying, and I want to hear everything. And I have a life that's like that, and it's hard. It's hard. I have to, for me with my sensitivity level, I have to work at closing that window and closing that opening down, just so I'm not bombarded with stuff. And some of you sitting here will be the same way. So what I would like to ask you to do as we're sitting here is to welcome you actually to the peace of Spring Farm Cares, because this is a really amazing place. And I don't say that because I'm the co-founder. It's just I was drawn here as well. There's a reason why I was drawn here, and there's a reason why Bonnie was drawn here. This is so Bonnie's the co-founder. You'll meet her at lunchtime because she's going to be getting the lunch on for everybody. So this was Bonnie's family farm, and she turned all of this over, all of the property, everything. She deeded over to Spring Farm Cares. So Spring Farm Cares, as a nonprofit entity, owns all of this property, but we never look at it as owning it. We are stewards of this amazing place, because there's an amazing energy here that really welcomes people and calls people in. Same with the animals too. The animals add a lot to this being here, but the property itself also has just an amazing draw. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, for the next 2 days, try to put the outside world outside. Just leave it outside. We are bombarded continuously, especially now, with a lot of conflict and a lot of stuff just bombarding us with 24/7 news cycles, and if you live in a city, the traffic sounds and the energy of people. There's a lot of fear. That fear becomes, it permeates us in a way where we then, a couple of things. First of all, it'll shut us down, but also it tires us out, and we start to shut down a lot of the good things that are out there, because we just think, I don't want to hear anymore, I just don't want to hear anymore, and we're missing the good things that are going on. So I can tell you that there are some really amazing, wonderful things going on in the world. You're not necessarily hearing about them because of what the news cycle covers and what you're seeing, but there's a lot of people coming together, there's a lot of unity, there's a lot of peace. The animals are extremely excited about this particular time, and have been telling me that for quite a long time. So the other thing is that you need to know is that the animals welcome all of you in here, but it's not just you. They welcome all the visitors that come here. Animals, by and large, are trying to get humanity back into the fold, because we have separated ourselves out from nature, and we've separated ourselves out from so much stuff. And they're trying to, nature and animals, all of it, are trying to pull us back in and say, hey, you know, we're all in this together, you're all in this together. And that message is really getting through. And I know for some of you, you're thinking, well, I don't see that. But I can tell you, sitting where I've been sitting and doing all that I've been doing here for the last 30 years, I mean, I've been here for 40, but really teaching this stuff for the last 30, I can tell you that where people are now compared to where they were 30 years ago is astonishing. I mean, absolutely astonishing. And we don't realize how much more open and how much more in tune that we have become. And that gets lost in the chaos of everything else. So animals bring us a lot of unconditional love and tolerance and non-judgment. That's what they're about, and that's what this organization is about, that's what this farm is about, and that's where you're going to be coming from and visiting here for the next couple of days. So please immerse yourself in that and get yourself a break from all the other stuff.